I set my live stream an hour earlier, and then a pipe broke, so I had to fix it. And unfortunately, now I used all of my battery for my phone in order to have the light on, the flashlight for the phone. And now I have no troll, but that's okay. I don't need a troll in order to show you this amazing shit. So I want you all to pay attention to the screen right now, because we're going to see something that I consider monumental. Like, in fact, I think it should be in a museum. Like, this is a work of art. You know, we don't have artists like they used to in the period of the Renaissance. But every now and then you capture a photo that basically shows the highlight of the decade. And I think this one is it, right? So here you're having an actual Marxist, right? Like a person that believes in socialism. And this is an Islamist committing a terrorist attack. And the Islamist is literally jumping over the Marxist in order to throw his bomb. Okay? Like this is on camera. Like, we captured this. I will show you the whole footage in a bit. But, like, this guy is literally... Like, okay, like just so we can zoom out a little bit more so you can understand what we're seeing here. There was a right-winger. I don't know who he is, but he basically was doing a protest in front of the New York mayor's house against open borders, right? And he was literally talking about Islam. He was saying that people from Muslim nations are incompatible with our culture and they're violent and whatever, you know, whatever right-wingers say. And this guy, this leftist, is actually there in order to do a counter-protest and to say, no, like, everyone on planet Earth is welcomed in New York. We're welcoming everyone except for the far right. The far right aren't welcomed in New York, but, like, everybody else from Mogadishu, from, you know, like, every single nation on planet Earth, from North Korea, everyone is welcome. And as he's saying this terrorist literally jumps over him, shouts Allah Akbar like he's in the middle of the shouting, and throws a nail bomb into the crowd. Now, the nail bomb is a dud. It doesn't explode, right? So, like, luckily nobody was hurt. But, like, this is the picture. Like, this is it. Like, this actually belongs into the Louvre. Like, this should be in a museum. Like, I want my great-great-grandchildren to see this so that they know the times we lived in. A picture is worth 1,000 words, and this one is it. So, like, let's watch the actual scene taking place. It's like, there is so much fucking happening here, right? Like, look at this. Look at this.
We were born and raised in New York, and we want everyone here to stay in New York. You don't get to come from outside and then tell everyone else.
Right, so, like, the interesting thing here, and this is what people should note out of this, is that after it happened, he posted this on social media, right? He posted the picture of the actual explosive device and said, I cannot stress this enough. It was right near our feet, and it did not look real. We just stood there laughing. Meanwhile, the incel femoids ran away, having been totally jester-mogged. Their cortisol levels have yet to recover. Now, he is actually mocking the human beings that have a sense of self-preservation. Because in his liberal mind, he cannot fathom a brown person chanting Allah Akbar and trying to do harm. Like this just doesn't exist in his universe. Like, it's so outside of the realm of possibility. It's like trying to convince him that 2 + 2 = 5. You know, like, this goes against any fabric of reality that he perceives. And not only that, but he decides to mock and ridicule normal people. Yes, it's actually normal if you're in a crowd and someone shouts Allah Akbar and throws something to run away. And I'll tell you something, even in Muslim nations, even in Saudi Arabia, even in Qatar, even in Pakistan, even in the United Arab Emirates, people would run away if someone did that. I understand what Allah Akbar means, but I also understand context, human language, and the way people communicate, right? So it's like one thing when you hear Allah Akbar in a mosque. It's another thing when you hear Allah Akbar on the television. It's another thing when a Muslim like calmly sits down and says Allah Akbar. And it's another thing when you have like a public gathering with protesters and stuff, and then a guy comes up, throws something, goes Allah Akbar, and runs away, right? Like, it's a completely different situation. And so, like, if the choice is, like, I run, and I risk the bomb being fake, and then I make an ass out of myself, it's like, okay. Or I don't run, and the bomb is real, and it explodes, and I die. Like, like, logic dictates that the femoids, the fem cells, are much smarter forms of life than the liberals. Like, anyone that just stood there and was laughing, like, I'm sorry, but, like, no. No, absolutely not. You're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. And the fact that you're mocking and ridiculing other people that were acting accordingly, it is what it is. So, Minorsicon, V communists can't or won't leave their religion. Well, we're going to talk about it because, like, it gets even more interesting. Left out the most important Muslim nation in the world, UK. Well, is it UK or is it Sweden? Like, I don't know at this point. But anyway, right, let me show you something else, right? Because, again, maybe at this point, you know, like, he genuinely doesn't know. Maybe he, like, genuinely doesn't know if the bomb was real or not. And so, there is another post that he did later on. And I'm trying to find it. Ah, here we go, right. So, like, at a certain point, like, the authorities actually look into the device and they find out, it's like, look, it's not fake. Like, the man actually tried to kill people. It's just that the device was a dud and you're lucky to be alive. Like it's a freak accident that you guys are still alive, right? So when he hears this, like, again, you have a liberal, and at his legs, literally at his legs, a nail bomb was thrown, which is a really nasty way to die, by the way. Really, really nasty way to go. Like out of most of the ways that you can go, this one is pretty high up. And he finds out that he actually survived. Is he going to change his mind? No. Like, he's basically saying, no, I still stand by it. Like, he's still for open borders. As a born and raised in New York, everyone is welcome, except the chief goat Fouquier, Jake Lang. Now, again, I don't know anything about Jake Lang, but I assume, like, he's a right-winger. He doesn't like Muslims for some reason that we can't explain. Probably phobia. But I'm trying to try to get into this guy's shoes. You know? I get it, you know, like, it's not always great to be humbled. But, like, in this situation, at least shut the fuck up. Just like this one case, you know, like, you don't have to say anything, because, like, I understand people are giving you money to say what you're saying, right? So, like, you have to say what you're saying in order to constantly make a living. But in this situation, I'm pretty sure even your people would understand if you just shut the fuck up. But no, like, it's the goat Fouquier. So, look, I don't blame the liberal mind, because I understand why it is, you know, like, they cannot conceive the idea that a brown person can shout Allah Akbar and hurt anyone. Like, and the reason they can't conceive it is because the media tells them it can't happen, the schools tell them it can't happen, the video games tell them it can't happen, the movies tell them it can't happen, their circle of friends tell them it can't happen. Like, there is $1 billion industry invested into telling them it can't happen. And so, you know, it would be sinful if money was wasted. Like, wasting money is a sin, right? My priest used to tell me. And so, like, imagine if the left pumped $1 billion and it had no effect whatsoever. Like, no, obviously it is effective. And the only question is, like, why aren't right-wingers doing it? Because, like, you cannot negotiate with these people. You cannot debate or talk with an individual that goes through a near-death experience and still blames the guy that is trying to save him. And so, if you can't debate them, well, maybe you can manipulate them. Maybe you can subvert them. Maybe you can use the exact same tools that the left uses to manipulate them. Maybe the right can use literally the same tools so that you can pull them back to reality. Like, obviously, you cannot have a conversation, right? So, like, if the left spends billions of dollars to manipulate people, how much is the right wing spending? How much money are right wingers spending in order to subvert leftists and bring them back to reality? To create movies, video games, TV shows, entertainment, culture that is wholesome and promotes a different message. Well, it seems like right-wingers are trying right now to censor anime, right? But, like, when they finish with that anime, when they finish that anime jihad and they eliminate the pedophiles online and all that shit, when are they going to build an alternative message? When are they going to create something wholesome? Because this is why you get this shit. Like, and I have to say something else, right? There are 3 possibilities here on why such a person would behave this way. Number 1, okay, maybe it's personal. Maybe this Jake Lang guy, this individual that he calls a goat Fouquier, maybe he fucked his girlfriend. Maybe he fucked his mom. I don't know. But, like, maybe there was, like, something personal there. And Mr. Walter, like, hates Mr. Jake so fucking much that even in this situation, he's still going to say, no, you know what? I'm not going to be on Jake's side no matter what. Like, did you know what you did to my mom? Okay, maybe that's what's happening here. Unlikely, but it is a possibility, right? Like, maybe there are some strong emotional grievances between Mr. Walter and Mr. Jake. And so, like, we can ignore the context because it's not logical, it's purely emotional. The second one is that he is literally brainwashed. Like, the $1 billion that the leftist politicians, the NGOs, the activists have paid have been so tremendously effective that he genuinely believes in a level of leftist mysticism. So, leftist mysticism dictates that Muslims are like this unstoppable force. You cannot talk with them, you cannot reason with them, you cannot convince them of otherwise. Like, they're the ultimate bigots. And a Muslim's gotta do what a Muslim's gotta do. And so, normally, Muslims, like, they leave you alone. But when you have a Jake Lang doing his, like, right-wing talking points, doing his white supremacy, he's like a lightning rod attracting the storm. So like, he is channeling, like, the negative energies of the universe. And the reason the bomb was thrown was because Jake Lang was there, right? So, like, Jake Lang actually placed Mr. Walter in danger just by existing. If Jake Lang was a Marxist, if Jake Lang was a true socialist and his soul was clean, he wouldn't have attracted the wrath of the jihad. So, like, this is the second explanation, right? Like, he believes into this, like, leftist mysticism, where his understanding of the world is through, like, forces we cannot really control, but we can manage, right? We can channel, like a volcano, right? Like, in his mind, maybe Islam is like a volcano, and if you have, like, a lot of white supremacy around the volcano explodes. So it's our job, in order to make sure that everyone sucks Lenin's dick and reads Karl Marx, because otherwise the volcano erupts. The third explanation, and this one is the one that I think is happening, he is getting paid. He is getting paid, you know, like the same way that Coca-Cola pays a race car driver so that the race car driver can advertise Coca-Cola. It is entirely possible that you have a individual that's into politics, like a politician or an NGO, or, you know, like someone that wants to push a political idea that has paid Mr. Walter in order to have the talking points. It is correctly possible. In this case, I hope that Mr. Walter charges double. Like, after this event, Mr. Walter, you know, he probably doesn't get healthcare for doing this, but he should charge double. I would personally charge double if I was him. It's interesting, right? Like, need our own super radicals, cancellations, etc. The thing is, like, when the right gets the super radicals, like, they don't actually censor with common sense. They go after anime and shit, and then they start agreeing with the leftist radicals. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Anyway, they never change tactics. It has to be written by an academic. Yeah. He sees himself as the person in the middle holding up a flower to each side, oblivious to the fact that he's in no man's land without a helmet. No, like, I find this to be really interesting because very rarely, Like usually you wonder, right? Like what happens when it's in their backyard? Like that's what most people question when they see like someone that's advocating for too much compassion. And it's like, what would happen is like if he was to meet someone that doesn't reciprocate, like someone that genuinely is not interested in compassion and empathy, and has like such fundamentally different moral values that he doesn't even consider the other person as human. Like, what happens then? And apparently, like, they double down. Like, literally, Yuri Bezmenov, God rest his soul, he said that you have people that are so subverted, so indoctrinated, that even when you show them the evidence, even when you're, like, telling them that they're wrong, they still don't believe you. And the only time they finally believe is when you take them into the Russian gulags, right? Like, when the gulags finally catch on to them, that's when they realize that their entire worldview was wrong. I think Yuri Bezmenov was full of shit. Seriously, I think Yuri Bezmenov was full of shit. Because, like, even when you take them in the gulag, even when they're there, they still double down on their worldview. Like, there is no circumstance. There is absolutely nothing that you can do in order to de-subvert these individuals. Nothing will change them because they get high on it. Probably they are. Right-wingers equal spineless little bitches. It's not spineless. It's just like they're not donating money. It's like, look, if you have one side that's pumping billions of dollars into social engineering, and the other side isn't putting a penny, logic dictates, mathematics dictates, the law of the universe dictates that the side that puts money into things is going to win. Right? Like, money is human energy. It's effort. And so, when you look at how much the left actually contributes, it's insane. There's this saying in Romania, which I think is actually very true, but the government is interested in your freedom. Either they want to protect it, or they want to take it away. How much are you paying so that the politicians that want to protect your freedom get funded? It's literally that simple, right? Like, how much are people paying politicians that are interested in protecting their freedoms? Because there are a lot of people paying the politicians that want to take your freedoms. Right. What happens when the platypus is under your shit? What the fuck, platypus? Is that an Australian thing? Who uses platypus as an animal, as an example? Like, we use snake. What happens when the snake, like the platypus? We need our billionaires. Come on, Elon. People are attacking Elon right now in the European Union. But even on Twitter, there was a guy that posted like the dumbest thing ever, which was basically Elon claiming that in the case of war, the Teslas would stop because a company has to be responsible with people's civic duty. So, like, if someone tries to flee over the border to escape the draft, the Tesla would stop. Immediately I knew, like, okay, Elon would never say something like this because he is the CEO of a company. There is no war yet. And if he says something like this, the sales would tank. Like, no one would buy a Tesla, right? But the guy that was attacking Elon eventually got called out, and he was like, well, like, the algorithm pushed a lie. This just proves that no, it proves you're retarded. Like, it took me like 2 seconds to click on Grokky and ask Grokky, did Elon actually say this? And Grokky said no. It's a tool. Don't let the people shame you into not using tools. Because, like, oh, Grok, is this true? Haha, you asked Grok. Haha. Yeah, if you're going to post me a quote or an article or a picture of some place and I can't physically verify it, it will take me like 2 seconds to ask Grokky versus like actually copying the picture, going on Google, doing a reverse image search. Like, that takes 1 minute. Why the fuck? Like, I'm not retarded, my time is important. I'm not going to, like, waste my time in order to accomplish something that I can accomplish in 10 seconds. Yeah. Anyway, listen up. People from your chat have made me a consumer when I told them that I buy manga and games to help artists to promote right-wing messages. What's wrong with being a consumer? Look, money has to flow. Okay? Like, money is not meant to be hoarded. Even Jesus Christ agrees with me on this. And so, when you buy something, when you consume something, you're helping artists, you're helping writers, you're helping people that have families. What's wrong with being a consumer? No, like, you should consume. You shouldn't hoard. Like, hoarding is actually bad. Right? Like, if you sleep with your body under the mattress, if you let the bankers to gorge on your cash, if you let PayPal have the ability to seize your wallets, that's bad. But like consuming, buying shit, no, that's good. You should be a consumer. Like, don't let people stigmatize you with retardedness, okay? Like, you should be able to judge for yourself. Just because, like, there's a meme on the internet that says consume, and consume is viewed as bad, that's retarded. No, it depends what you're buying. It depends how much you're spending. Context is king, right? So, no, like, consuming is actually not a bad thing. In fact, if people weren't consuming and the economy would collapse and all these right-wingers would be like, I can't pay my internet, my electricity is going down, and they would actually suffer the same shit that second world countries suffer, then they would understand why consuming is actually important. Hoarding is actually bad. Don't tell that to my Baldur's Gate character. Jesus said pay your taxes. Yeah, but Jesus didn't fucking say that. You know, like when the Romans were a thing, the Romans weren't taking 50% of what people own, right? So like maybe if Jesus was now, maybe Jesus would have said pay some of your taxes. Jesus also said that theft is a sin. I'm just saying. You label me a consumer, but all you do is come here in V's chat and cry and moan. Yeah, but like I am a consumer. Like I do consume. I'm telling other people you have to consume if you want to have a healthy economy, if you want people to have jobs, if you want people to be employed, if you want so that you yourself can have a job, so that you yourself can pay for the bills. Yes, you need to consume. It's literally how the world works. Unless you're rich. If you're rich, there's different rules. Then you don't consume. Then you play on the stock market. But you're not rich. You're poor. You consume. SRC Maker is rich. SRC Maker gets to play on the stock market. I bet she's really good at it. I have to host a Zoom call, V. Here's the rest of your toll charge to cross the bridge. We'll watch the stream later. Enjoy the stream chat. Make sure to live and share. Live and share? Live and share. Live and share. Live and share. Be a discerning consumer. No, listen. Okay, chat, listen. It matters what you consume, how much. Context is king, okay? You cannot just say don't consume at all. There is nothing wrong with with having hobbies. There is nothing wrong with being excited over a football match. There is nothing wrong with buying manga and video games. The question is like, how many are you buying? Are you buying like one video game per month? Are you buying 10 video games per month? Are you playing gacha and you're buying Nikkei Stitz worth of $1,000? Okay, like there's a difference. Do you make your and by the way, like making your identity as part of a brand and shit like people like to do. How old are you? Like if you're a teenager, that's fine. Like that's normal. That's part of growing up. You know, like teenagers latch on to various identities. It's a stage of their life. No problem. If you're a teenager and you identify with Uzumaki Naruto because you really like it and you buy like Naruto t-shirts and you have like a Naruto backpack and you know, you have a Naruto wallpaper and you live and breathe Naruto, that's normal. That's part of being a teenager. That's not bad, okay? If you're 40 years old and you still do that, yes, that's pathological. Grow the fuck up. Sticks. You gotta grow up, Sticks. You gotta grow up. Anyway. Yeah, for some people it was World of Warcraft. For other people it was Minecraft. Like, it's normal, right? Like, let's stop pretending that everything is pathological. That everything that people do that's not about work is wrong. No, like, there's context. There's intensity, like how much time they're investing into that. And, of course, there's the age. Like, at what age are they? If they're, like, 18, 20 years old, 16, 14, okay, fine. If they're now 29 and they still do it, Styx is somewhere in New York. Do you think Stolas stopped that bomb from exploding? Do you think it was like Styx chaos magic that prevented the liberal from dying? He just, huh? Growing up, it's a trap. Do you know when you grow up as a man, it's not about necessarily like how you behave. It's more about when you are able to take care of other people. Like, you know you're a man that if you died right now, other people would suffer. That's the representation of masculinity, when other people depend on you. To the point that if you died tomorrow, other individuals' life would be completely destroyed. And the intensity of that destruction just shows how big of a man you are. If you have like 4 people that get devastated financially, emotionally, just because you died, then you are a real man. If you die tomorrow and not a single person cares, not a single person gives a shit, then you're not a man. With the exception, of course, like there is an exception. If you're really old and like all of your friends passed away, right? Like, okay, fine. But like generally speaking, okay, like the normal rule is like this. When you're a kid, when you're a boy, you're dependent on your family, right? So like you're not a man because like you're dependent on mommy and daddy. When you're a teenager, you start being independent because you can take care of yourself. When you take care of yourself, you're a young adult. When you're able to take care of yourself and others, that's when you're a man. So it's not really about like, do you play World of Warcraft? Do you enjoy going to Disneyland? Do you enjoy partaking in childish activities? No. Like none of that matters, okay? You can be like that and still be a man, or you can be like interested in only football and cars and still not be a man because nobody gives a shit about you, and if you died, nobody would care. Been gaming since I was 6-ish, and now I'm 32, and I hope to live long as possible so that I can keep gaming and enjoying life. Well, imagine the definition of a man is how much people take advantage of you. It's not about taking advantage, dude. Like, you don't have to sound so bleak. Like, starting a family and having children, that doesn't mean that the child takes advantage of you. It's just like a normal biological function. Like, you took advantage of your parents when you were growing up, right? So, like, being a provider for the family, like, I'm sorry, you know, like, Western culture has gone to shit, but I'm not going to change the way of my ancestors, like, the mentality of my grandparents and great-grandparents just because America is having a tough time right now. Because, like, you have feminism in America and it poisoned a generation. I'm not going to change what works. I'm sorry, like, I know this works. You know, like, starting families is good. Having children is good. I don't give a shit what feminists and MRAs and Andrew Tate and everyone else says. I will do what my mother taught me, and she was taught by her grandmother, and her grandmother was taught by my great-grandfather, right? And so, like, the knowledge passed down, and I'm going to still do it. I'm not going to fucking change just because, you know, the Black Rock in the United States has opinions right now. I leave enough balls of water out in case I die, then my goldfish has enough to drink. Is that a thing? Like, can goldfish jump from a bowl to another? Your children don't take advantage of you as a dad. You get so much more back in return. No, I know. Like, I'm talking to someone in the chat, right? Like, I was literally saying that you are a man when you know that if you die, other people suffer. And someone in the chat's interpretation was, oh, so being a man means people taking advantage of you. And I was like, no, I don't think, like, children take advantage of you. I mean, like, theoretically they do, but, like, that's normal. Because I used to take advantage of my parents, right? So, like, it's perfectly normal. It's not... This is like one of those like liberal word games where you're like using different definitions in order to make something that's natural to sound bad. If you really want to think of it in those terms, you can always consider it an investment in the future. Yeah. Anyway. It's been a lonely life. Wish I could pursue something romantically, but nothing seems to line up well enough to date. It is what it is, you know. You never know. Like, you never know. Like, sometimes you may actually end up meeting someone without planning. If you really want to date someone, like, you should try starting. I don't know if you can do it in America though. Like, but you can try starting a new university or shit. Like, go to Eastern Europe and start the university there. Like, just break out of the habit. Do something unexpected. 100% family is what makes you a man. I think so too. Yes. Anyway, let's analyze some other things that happened. So there's this video that came up where a lot of, like, you have Sabrina Carpenter and she's just like killing men in a music video, right? And this gentleman like raised a very interesting point. And he said, imagine if a male artist made a music video showing women getting deleted and beaten up. He would be cancelled in a day. But a woman artist can literally delete men and nobody cares. Never tell me that misandry doesn't exist. The thing is, like, I don't have to imagine a male artist doing shit because it literally happened last week. So, like, there's this game where the main character's fists are rated E for everyone. And there's this scene where he punches a woman. And literally all the soy boys, like, they were trying to dox the game company, trying to fire people, like, acting completely unhinged, right? Like, this is what I don't understand. I would trust more a person that plays this video game to be, like, calm and collected and not spurg out versus one person that sits on Discord and tries to find games like this so that they can chimp out. Like, those persons are genuinely someone that needs to go into a mental asylum. Like, committing cybercrime and harassing people online, trying to get them fired and doxxed and shit. That is actual deranged behavior, right? Like, sitting on Discord and using social media for those purposes is an actual deranged behavior comparing to, like, some guy that plays Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter and he beats up Chun-Li. But anyway, right, so, this is not a one-off. Like, if anyone that's aware of Romantica and, like, especially, like, women's writings, like, women get a lot with, get away with so much deranged smut. It's insane. So, do you know, like, in 2016, where feminists were complaining that a lot of women had to use pen names and hide their real identity in order to publish books and shit? Well, that's okay, because, like, in the last decade, we had a lot of women writers. In fact, we had more than we needed. Because a lot of journalists and a lot of publishing houses, like, they really pushed female authors. They really pushed them hard. And we can actually do an audit at what they're writing. Almost 60 or 70% of it is smut. Just non-stop smut. And look, I have nothing with writing smut. Like, of course, if there's a market for it, go and fill it. It's fine. But it's bad smut. It's like some of the most degenerate, disgusting, vile smut that you can possibly imagine. And the thing is, like, I know women can write good smut. I know, like, because, like, we have manga, right? Like, there are women that can actually write pornography with drawings and doodles, and they have talent. So, like, I don't know what the fuck the West is doing, but, like, if you're going to write smut, at least do it properly. Fuck is it with that shit? Heretic Hero, thank you for the $20. Am I 20% of a man if I don't pay my taxes and the poor suffer? No, like, that's irrelevant. I don't give a shit if you pay your taxes or not. Like, my condition was very simple. Look, you can be a man that takes care of your mother in a wheelchair, and that counts. Okay? If you're taking care of your sick mom or your sick dad, you're still a man. Taxes are irrelevant. I don't give a shit. Sabrina Carpenter clapped at Billie Ellis's comments about stolen land. Oh, I like how harassed she got over that. Is it okay to say that I enjoyed it? Like, I didn't do it. I'm not encouraging others to do it. But when I heard it's happening, I was laughing. Like, am I allowed to say that? Like, is it against YouTube's TOS? So, like, this chick says that she hates people that are on stolen land. And so people actually went to her house and they set up tents and shit. And they were They were like constantly harassing her, and right-wing commentators were making fun of her. And then she like eventually threatened to sue. And it's like, what the fuck are you suing, lady? Like, nothing that was done to you was illegal. Like, you're not suing shit. Yeah, no one is illegal on stolen land. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, it's a different one. Look, like, to me, all of these Hollywood actors are the same. Like, I'm sorry. Am I a racist for saying it? All Hollywood actors look the same? Maybe they don't look the same, but they definitely sound the same, right? They sound the same. Like, if you ask the opinions of a Hollywood actor, you literally get all of their opinions. Like, you know, that I don't even know why Hollywood actors are allowed to vote. It should literally be just one of them voting, and their vote, like, represents what their entire number is. Like, how many Hollywood actors are there? Like 200, right? So, like, if one Hollywood actor votes Democrat, it should count as 200 votes. Anyway. Let me check. All right. There are a few conservative actors. Yeah, usually people that are old and have nothing to lose. Anyway, let's listen to something that I want to make a longer video on. This one is very interesting.
The way that I appeal to Republicans, you call it empathy. I call it treating people like the way that I appeal to Republicans, you call it empathy. I call it treating people like 4-year-olds. That's how I reach a conservative. I've got to be incredibly patient. I have to be incredibly kind. I've got to pretend. I can't even pretend I'm talking to my son. It is condescending because they don't believe in vaccines. Yeah. They don't believe in climate change. They don't believe in science. They don't believe in academia. Half of them don't think we went to the moon. They don't think they did the election. How the else am I supposed to treat these people? Yeah, of course they're but yeah, you treat them like that. You be kind, you be patient, you be empathetic, and you do what you can. But at the end of the day, I believe in the things that I do for good reason. And it's not like I'm going to sit here and pretend that me and a conservative have the same factual standing on every single issue we debate.
So how's your son, Destiny? How's your kid doing? Because, like, you're basically saying that the way you talk to a conservative is the way you talk to a 4-year-old retard, right? That was how you posted it, right? It's interesting because, like, how is it that, like, this huge influencer that every leftist likes, and he's so smart, he's so educated, he can't convince his son to be left-wing? Like his son is with Nick Fuentes. His son is with, well, I mean, theoretically, look, like, the journey of his son may also be Democrat. But he's voting Democrat because of accelerationism. He's probably voting Democrat so that, you know, like, once we get Kamala Harris into office, then we start the revolution, and then we get to beat up by that. Like, maybe that's his mentality. I don't know. But look, it's interesting how when right-wingers look at results, and they're basically saying, okay, the science, what are the results? Like, let's look at Destiny, right? He's very logical. He knows things that I don't. He's very smart. Why can't he convince his son? Where's the results? Crickets. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about what Destiny says. So, right-wingers don't believe in vaccines. They don't believe in science. They don't believe in global warming. The problem here isn't that right-wingers don't believe in the scientific method. Like, they're aware that the scientific method works. The problem is that they believe the institutions themselves, the human beings at the top of the institutions, are corrupt. And they are not doing the scientific method anymore. Instead, they are playing politics. They manipulate the studies, they manipulate the results. The government that holds the purse is only funding the scientists, the human beings, Destiny, that are scientists, right? The government is bribing with grants the scientists that will come up with conclusions that the government wants to hear. This is why right-wingers do not believe in institutions anymore, because when you're looking at, for example, COVID, right? Vaccines. And you're telling people that the science is saying that when you're at the restaurant, you have to mask up. When you're at the table, you take the mask off. When you want to go to the bathroom, you put the mask back on, okay? This is retarded. If the science says this, then the science is wrong. You don't need to be a scientist to understand why it's mentally deficient to have that policy, okay? when you use the science to shut down businesses and lock people in their doors, and there's no alternative, there's nothing, like the science is like cemented, and you're not even trying to find anything else, and the politicians are using the science as a religion, yeah, people are going to lose trust in the institutions, especially when they see where the money is flowing. So it's not about vaccines, it's about politicians justifying policies that is from the science, and whenever a doctor complains, the doctor gets fired. Whenever a doctor makes a YouTube video, YouTube censors. Like, is censorship part of the science as well? Like, did they use the scientific method and decided that by censoring people is how you fight a pandemic? I'm just asking, you know? You have mail-in votes, but you don't have mail-in vaccine. So, like, you can literally mail your vote, but why isn't that the government, you know, like, mails me a vaccine, I vaccinate myself, trust me, bro, and I get a QR code? Why doesn't it work like that? Global warming. Okay, let's go to the next one. You're telling me that the world is ending. Like, it may be, I don't know, right? I can't fact check this. I have to trust someone. I have to take it on faith. It's the only way that you can actually believe it, right? You take it on faith. And so, I take it on faith that the world is ending, but for some reason, the banks don't give a shit. Like, if I buy a house on the beach, the insurance company doesn't think, oh, well, hold on a little bit, like in 20 years from now, the water level is going to rise and your house is going to be flooded, so, like, we can't insure that. They're not saying that, right? Like, why? I'm looking at the politicians, you know, I'm looking at Obama's and the Martha's Vineyard and shit. They don't seem concerned. Okay, so, like, let's look at global warming. What is the policy? Well, we have COP20. All the politicians, they go there with private jets. Well, if the world is ending, like, why are they concerned? Like, don't they have families or something, you know? Well, and then they say, okay, we're going to put carbon credits. Where is the money going? Like, are they going to plant trees with it? It's like, no, it's going for the budget. Okay, so, like, what is the policy? I need to shut down my air conditioning. I need to consume less. And then I'm looking at my politicians that are making 10,000 euros a month, and they sit with air conditioning. Why aren't they shutting down the air conditioning if it's so bad, right? And so, like, at what point can people lose trust? Like, at what point do you not think that individuals are going to go like, you know what, fuck this shit, I don't trust these guys? It's not an issue of intelligence, it's an issue of low trust. When you reach a point where people basically say, I do not believe in things that I cannot personally verify, this is not illogical. No, it's very logical. The problem is you cannot have a functioning modern society when every single person has this statement. I do not believe in things that I cannot personally verify. Can I personally verify that the moon landings happened? This is what some people will ask, right? Can they personally verify it? And if the answer is no, they don't believe it. And the question is like, how do you debate those people? Well, you can't. Because the thing is, you're not interested in if they believe in global warming or not. The issue is that you want them to be taxed harder. You want their businesses to be regulated. You want the government to interfere in their lives, and they don't. Okay, like, this is the actual problem. It's not like whether or not they believe in the moon landing. No one gives a shit if someone believes in the moon landings or not. Like, what does the moon landings have to do with anything? Right? But the problem is that if they don't believe in moon landings, like, what else don't they believe? Like, you're basically finding a person that has so little trust in the institutions. And instead of, like, saying that maybe the institutions are to blame, maybe the institutions fucked up, you're basically blaming that the people that got conned and scammed by the same institutions that they don't keep believing them. Like, when you have the academia that tells you a man can become a woman, and it tells you that the solution for anyone that disagrees that a man can become a woman is to ostracize them from society, to get them fired, to have social media create all of these trusted safety councils, to crack down on anyone that disagrees, to have hate speech laws, right? When the academia comes up with these things and people get to see their friends and families getting banned, yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, the trust for the academia is going to go down. Because I don't think the scientific method came up with that thing. I don't think, like, the scientific method came up with, like, if you don't follow someone's pronouns, you actually deserve to get banned from Twitter. pinned you in a live stream. Short Fat Otaku's retweets claiming that the UK combing gangs are fake. Oh my goodness. Are we going to find out some? Oh, we're going to find out something interesting about Dev. Let me see. Oh, he's going after Madame Savi. Remember when Madame Savi had the balls to shit on politicians for being warmongers rather than sucking them off? How many anti-woke types... Wait. Hold on. Is he anti-war now? Like, okay, so like with Putin, he was pro-war. I guess like... He's not able to set America's policies to his liking. Look, I understand. No, it's not about hypocrisy. It's basically, he's upset that America's foreign policy isn't built around his Canadian takes. It's fine, right? Like, some wars he's okay, others he basically wishes he could be in the Pentagon and make the shots. And I think, like, this is what upsets him, right? It's not like war is good or is bad. No, like, it's fine. It's just that he wishes America had like a different geostrategy in the Middle East. So anyway, if Putin continues to refuse to come to the peace table, President real Donald Trump has all the tools and the leverage it is to help facilitate this war. And he calls him warmongering freak. Can we appreciate for a moment that the US, the people of the world, not privy to government conversations, that we get news like this? Okay, I can actually explain why people think this way. Because again, like, Dev doesn't know how to read the room. He doesn't understand context, nuance. Listen, it's not that complicated. When Ukraine went to war with Russia, there was a small, but there was a possibility of a nuclear war, right? Like, we don't know how Russia would have reacted in the first days. Like, there was this anxiety, like, what if Russia sends in the nukes? There was also the anxiety of World War III. We didn't know how the world is going to go on. And so, like, at any point, if, you know, Russia was to... let's say managed to get Kiev, and so like NATO decided, no, we're going to go into Ukraine, yeah, you could start World War III. And so this is why people were a little bit edgy. Now with Venezuela and Iran, it seems that the war is not boots on the ground, it's not tanks, it's not amphibious assault, it's not American soldiers going in there, there's no chance of World War III. And so it's just like a regime that... has been inconveniencing the United States interests in the area for longer before 2010, which is now at its weakest. And so the Americans took advantage of it, right, with the blessings and the stewardship of a real nation like the Israeli. And they did a couple of bombings over there. Okay. Different wars, different things. I understand why, you know, like someone like Dev and someone like Savi may not have the same opinions on both wars. Like, you can agree with one, you can disagree with another. That's fine. It's possible. You know, not all wars are the same. Jesus. Being an anti-woke liberal myself, I was fooled many times of the anti-woke centrist type. This is another thing. Like, when you look at Madame Savi, like, what do you want from her? Right? Like, you want art, especially if you're into yaoi and bootfucking, right? Like, you want art, and you want to hear her takes about entertainment. I don't give a shit if Madame Savi supports the war in Iran or the war in Ukraine or anything. Like, how exactly does it influence geopolitics? If Madame Savi doesn't want war, like, let's imagine we live in a world where Madame Savi doesn't want war, and we live in another world where everything is identical except here Madame Savi is a warmonger. What exactly changes? Like, how are these two worlds different? I don't know. No, they're not. They're not, right? So, like, this whole thing is like, But yes, it's interesting to see that Iran has finally made Dev into a pacifist. Like, I guess this is what it took. Because, like, when it was with Russia, he was like, oh, base, send more missiles, send more weapons, just destroy Mother Russia. And it's like, well, Dev, just calm the fuck down, you know? Like, people are dying. No, V, you're a cuck. You don't understand, V, you're a cuck. Like, I from Canada want America to send weapons of mass destruction, destroy. And I'm like, okay, you know? And now that Iran is getting drone strike, look, guys, this is warmongering. This is not okay. This is like what Donald Trump is doing. I mean, sure, you know, like, again, like, you can agree with one war and disagree with another, like, that's fine, but I would be curious for his reasoning. Why is, you know, like, why is one good and one bad? Like, for me, I can explain geography, right? Like, geography. I don't give a shit about what's happening in the Middle East. I never did. I don't care, all right? I do care about this. Like, the only reason I'm cheering Trump is that I'm hoping he can end it quickly. Because, like, the Strait of Hormuz is going to kill me, literally. Like, the prices are going to explode. I'm not going to get super chats because all of you motherfuckers are going to suffer from inflation. So, when it comes with this war, like, I'm supporting America 100% because I want them to finish faster. Okay? Like, America, do what you need to do. Right? Just demolish the opposition. I don't care about why you're doing it. Just fucking do it faster so that the Strait of Hormuz can breathe again. Okay? Like, that's literally, that's my interest in the war. With Ukraine geography, they're next door. I hope they hold. I don't want Russians near my border, okay? So, like, it's very simple for me to explain why I agree with the wars. Like, it's not ideological. I don't give a shit about Putin, Zelensky, the global homo. Like, no, I don't care. It's like where I'm at. Romania. What's next to me? Ukraine. Okay, I want Ukraine to remain next to me. I don't want Russia to come next to me, right? Just like Russia doesn't want NATO to appear where Ukraine is, so too, I don't want Russia to appear where Ukraine is. Right? Like, makes sense. Second thing, Middle East, don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck except for the oil. I care about the oil. Okay? I don't care about the people living there. I don't care about the geography. I don't care about the culture, their history, religion. No. I care about Iran Okay, let me put it this way. Just so you can understand how much I care about this. I don't know if it's controversial or not, but listen. I care about Iran and Palestine no more nor less than how much they cared when terrorist attacks were happening in Europe. Like, during 2016 all the way to 2020, there were so many terrorist attacks that at some point they stopped reporting them. They became part and parcel of living in a big city. And so exactly, no more nor less, like literally with the exact intensity that they cared about those terrorist attacks, this is exactly how much I care about what's happening in the Middle East right now. Is that fair? I think it's fair, right? It's equitable. It's equitable. Equality, you know, caring without borders. They care about me, I care about them. I think it's fine. You know, it's a good deal. And so with that out of the way, with the current conflict, it was bound to happen. Like, this was America's geopolitics since before 2010. Since before the Bush era. Like, the Americans were building up to this. And so, if it wasn't Trump, it would be someone else. And this is why the Democrats signed on it as well. Right? And now that it happened, like, let's get over with. Like, okay, you know, like, I'm not able to prevent it from happening. It doesn't even matter. Like, even if I was tomorrow, wanting the conflict to not happen with every fiber of my being, it wouldn't change. But now that it happened, fine, let's get over with. Let's bring Armageddon, you know, like, let's please all the religious conservatives and, you know, create the Grand Israel. Let's create it already, okay? Like, this is my take. Let's create the Grand Israel already. So we can see what next. Okay, now it's there. What else? What else? Because, like, everyone is, like, constantly saying, oh, well, they're plotting. They're plotting. They want to create the great Israel. Okay, fine, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, is Jesus going to come up? Like, when Jesus doesn't come up, what then? You know? The biblical prophecy is foretold. No Jesus has shown. Are they still going to get the evangelists roped up? Because I don't think, like, they can get the evangelists roped up after that. Okay? Like, after that, after you fulfill the biblical prophecy and you have the Grand Israel, like, there's no more theological arguments you can use to bamboozle evangelicals. Like, you literally run out of arguments. So like, okay, let's see. And not to mention, like, big empires collapse. Like, that's something that happens historically. Power flows from the center. If you're trying to govern the desert, you'll fail. You can eat when Jesus arrives. Price of bacon is my only concern. I mean, the Muslims are helping with the price of bacon. You are actually getting cheaper bacon because Muslims are consuming it. So I'm just saying. Food sounds good, but inflation disagrees. Yeah. Hey, look, all jokes aside, though, if this whole Strait of Hormuz nonsense ends up being longer than 2 or 3 months, mamma mia. Mamma mia, it's going to be bad. You know, like, okay, listen, let me put it this way. What if, hypothetically, they actually do manage to make great Israel, and Jesus does arrive? Who's going to be laughing then, right? Like, imagine you're seeing all those Christians, like all those American evangelicals, literally all of them, just like going into the heaven, like the rapture is happening, and you see like all of these Christians just floating in the air, in their suits, you know, in their American suits, just being pulled into the sky. I don't know where, like in the stratosphere, like how is the rapture taking place? Like, do you go all the way to the cosmos? Like, whatever, you know, like you see like a nice American sunny day, and all of these people are like just going up because Israel managed to form great Israel. They're like, you know, and like Jesus appears, and we're going there, and we're fighting in Armageddon and shit. Who's laughing then? Like, I bet you're going to be answered. I bet you'll be like, you know what, fuck it, I should have believed. I should have been an evangelical. I should have definitely helped with this. Like, oh, you know who's not going to be laughing? The Jews. The Jews are not going to be amused by this. Like, the Jews are definitely going to be asmad. Can you imagine, like, you're using the evangelicals in order to, you know, trick them by fulfilling their prophecy, and then it turns out that their prophecy is actually real. Like, Jesus does come. Like, he actually does arrive, and he actually is fighting the Antichrist in their backyard, in the plains of Armageddon. Like, wouldn't that be funny? Yeah, I think the Muslims would be baffled too. I definitely think so, yes. Like, the Muslims would definitely be, Nick Fuentes would probably be upset. Because Jesus wouldn't be an American. I mean, he doesn't say where he is coming, right? What if Jesus, like, comes in China? I mean, he is the, right, like, his kingdom is heaven. Like, he made the earth, he made everyone. So, like, if he wants to, he can come into China, or he can come into India. Oh my God, if he comes into India, like, if the second coming of Jesus happens in India, I'm betting that Mad at the Internet is going to have a very interesting episode about that. Like, I'm just going to tune in to Maddie. I'm just going to, you know, like, the first thing I will do, like, if I hear that, okay, the Messiah has arrived on planet Earth, he's going to fight Satan, the Antichrist, and he's going to fight them, and he arrived in India, right? Like, Jesus came down, second coming, boom, he's in India. Besides, like, I'm an atheist, okay? Like, I don't believe in the mystical, I don't believe in the superstition, but, like, if this is real, and you see, like, a man just coming down from heaven, before I would even try to understand what this means, before I would even try to, you know, like, picture out, it's like, okay, what does this mean for my soul? Like, what have I done up until now, you know? When do I go confess? Before I do any of that, I will go online and I want to see what Josh from Kiwi Farms has to say. I want to watch that episode. I think, like, that episode of Mad at the Internet is going to be lit. I think it's going to be, like, his best episode ever. Best thing that he can come up with, right? So, now you know what I will do if the apocalypse happens while I'm alive. I'd be quite bad if I was raptured, because Church and me don't get along very well. Seriously, like, if people actually get raptured, hold on, let me ask ChatGPT in order to point a picture, because so I actually want to see this, right? So you go to tools, right? Not create music, create image. Okay, draw me a picture where American televangelist lookalikes in business suits get raptured during the second coming of Jesus. Try to simulate their real life reactions as it happens inside an American suburb. I again, like, I think this is going to be wonderful. I think, like, the picture is going to be great. Because, like, this is legitimately what they believe will happen, right? This is not metaphorical. There are some people, obviously not all Christians, right? But, like, some Christians, especially the American neocons, the ones that believe they need to fulfill the biblical prophecy of, conquering and forming the great Israel. They literally believe that this will take place, right? So, hold on, no. Zoom back some. Okay, create a new picture. And show them inside the stratosphere. The thing is, like, I genuinely believe that some of them would be like this. But, like, the question is, how long will you be like this? Because, like, when you're, like, 10 meters in the air, when you're 100 meters in the air, when you're 1,000 meters in the air, like, at some point, you may want to take a piss. To be honest, though, like, wouldn't this be horrible? Like, you're being ripped off from your friends, your family. Like, I mean, I guess you're going to heaven, but it would be scary, right? Like, it wouldn't be happy. Like, you'd need time to adjust in heaven. Like, they would need to have, like, a quarantine zone, you know, like first arrivals and shit. Yeah, see, like, this is okay, the thing is, like, they wouldn't be... Unless, like, God uses the magic, and so, like, they can actually breathe in space. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing, you know. I mean, compared to Ragnarok in the Norse mythology, I think Ragnarok is a little bit more badass, right? Oh, will people T-pose? Hold on. No, that's a good question. Will people T-pose, or is it blasphemy? From a traditional standpoint, T-pose mimics the crucifixion. In meme culture, the T-pose is used to assert dominance. The irony, imagine a televangelist who has spent decades telling people to be humble, suddenly T-posing in the stratosphere. It would look less like a holy ascent and more like server-side error in the universe. It's a glitch in the matrix. If everyone started T-posing, it would imply that the physics of the second coming were just a bit too much for the human engine to handle. So it probably wouldn't be blasphemous by accident, but it would definitely be the most awkward way to enter paradise. Most televangelists would likely stick to the classic hands raised in praise, or the clinging to my leather-bound Bible to be on point. They wouldn't T-pose. I mean, I'm thinking most people would seriously though, like, if we apply just real life logic to this, it doesn't matter how many angels you get. It doesn't matter if you see the golden gates. Any adult human being that is being plucked up from the earth by a supernatural force is going to panic. Okay? Like, every single person that's being lifted off from the ground is going to freak the fuck out. Like, there is no calmness about it. There's no, like, people will scream. People will try to grab onto stuff. Okay? Like, unless God just completely shuts down their hormonal level and they stop thinking like normal humans, but, like, in any other situation, it doesn't matter how how much faith they have, being lifted from the ground as an adult human being by a supernatural force will get people to panic. What if you're in a building? Do you crash through the roof? Well, I think, like, God would wait until you get out, right? Like, he's God. I mean, he would basically like not make that mistake. No, honestly, see, here in Orthodox belief, right? Like, again, I'm not a Protestant. I'm an atheist, but like my parents were Orthodox, and so like I actually understand the Orthodox faith. We don't think that's literal. Like we do not believe that the mushroom infested book of Revelations, where it's obvious that the writer is tripping like bulls. We don't believe it's literal. Like we do not think that God will literally pluck people from the earth and send them to the heaven. Okay? Like nobody believes that. But you have Protestants which take the Bible literally for some reason, and they actually do believe that will happen. The Bible will never lie to us. Well, you know, like the priests basically say that some of it is metaphor. And so it's not a lie, it's just that it's metaphorical. Yeah, only Americans believe that. Like, literally, the Catholics don't believe that. You know, like, when they talk about, like, the beast in the Revelation or the angel sounding the horn, like, people don't believe that an actual angel will come and sound, like, no. Anyway, chat. I'm going to end it here. So I do thank you for being here, and I apologize for being an hour late. As usual, I will do what the old Pippa did and read some of the super chat. Thank you, Minorzicon, for the $2. Thank you, SRC Maker. Thank you, Zlixion. Thank you, Sergeant Gonnery and Wolf Predator 10. And thank you, Heretic Hero, Frog Jupiter, as well. So, all of you guys that donated, thank you so much. And I will see you in the next episode. See you in the comments section.